The forecast for July brings us to a very different flavor of our day-to-day life. And as we unpack the flying stars, Feng Shui for July in our homes, we also are going to look in this video about what this month of the sheep is going to feel like, the overall tone and vibe. So let's get into it. My name is Lydia. This is the Feng Shui and Bazi Chinese Astrology channel. Often I like to read the charts of famous people because I think it helps us to better understand our own charts and our own lives. So welcome. If this is something that speaks to you, please subscribe, like, all the happy things. Hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. And please put in your comments today how June has been for you. So we've got about another week left in the month from the time I'm filming this. And I don't know about you, but June, I blinked and it was over. Blinked. I cannot believe this is going into the last week. So as we're looking at all of this, it just felt like a fever pitch of energy, activity, forward motion, things all coming together and happening fast. And, you know, it's when we reflect back, which I think is so important before moving forward, is to recognize where you've been, where you are right now, and how are you moving forward, right? And that level of mindfulness is so helpful in navigating our life with clarity and calm. This year, my friends, of the dragon, by the time we get to the end of this year, so much is going to have changed for many of us, collectively and individually. And the more we resist that evolution of ourselves, the harder we suffer. And I'm telling you, 2025 is the year of the snake. Whether you're ready or not, change is coming. And I remember the last time we had a snake year, 2013. My end result of that year, I still remember because it was probably one of the most pivotal years of my life. I recognized that if I didn't accept change, even if it was painful, it was going to be more painful to have my skin pulled off of me, right? A snake either sheds its skin or it is shed for it. And I'm here to tell you, when you resist, it persists. The pain and the suffering just goes on. It is better to rip the Band-Aid off. That is like, I keep seeing like what's coming is going to be an interesting ride next year. So the thing is that the dragon is such a big, bold energy, and it's a lot. It's a lot to navigate through this year. I'm seeing a lot of people who are overwhelmed, stressed out, feeling a lot of anxiety, grief, and yet we're making our lives happen, and we are finding ways to take the reins with, in collaboration with the universe and God, and finding a way to harness all of this energy, which is what we need to do so that we're not dragged, flying high up into the sky and lost on daydream clouds with my dragon friend. So as we have stormed through with this fever pitch of June, my question is, as we saw the heat across the world, the incredible amount of heat, people dying from heat exhaustion and exposure to temperatures over 125 degrees in some places. How did you innovate? How did you create? Did you go wild? Did you set yourself free in some way? It's a good question. What did you choose in June to do differently? Were you bold and brave in those choices? Right? So July is a Yin Metal Sheep that rides in on the 6th, on the 6th of July. And yeah, so we're riding up on that. And the sheep, think about it. Think about these two very opposing earth animals. Okay, so when we're looking through the story, and yes, we have come to the third trio. So I will be posting for you guys the story of 2024, part 2. Just not today. It's coming though, I promise. And I'll put a link to the first video I did that was like a story, the story of the dragon. And you all loved it so much. I'll put the link there, and then I'm teasing that video. It's coming, I promise. It's been a crazy little month for me myself. I just wrapped a goddess solstice retreat, and I've got more retreats coming up. I've got a grief retreat happening here at my home in July. Anyway, so the sheep, think about her. She's the heat of summer, dry, hot heat like the sand. And the sheep is pieced out, man. Very creative in her own way, but this is an energy that is very chilled out. This is your iced tea under the umbrella with feet in the sand kind of a vibe. And then in comes the dragon. And the image that I had is the kids sitting in the car seat on that long ride to the beach, and the sibling that keeps pulling on their hair, or throwing things at them. It's the irritant. Because what the dragon wants to do is paint big, broad, bright rainbows in the sky. The dragon wants to soar high, kind of like the Eon in the tarot deck, where you lift up from the worm's eye view to get the big picture, to dream and imagine for the future, while the sheep is like, dude, I'm zenning out in the now moment. It's a tug of war where one part of us feels like we're supposed to be, or actually working towards a future, and the sheep is hanging us down in the now moment. The sheep is our reality check. Yeah. So this feels like a log jam. Everything, of our desires being pulled in different directions. And it's kind of like, do you want to rest or you want to fly? Do you want to be in the now moment or the future moment? And I have a feeling that as we are navigating through this sandy storm of July, that we are going to feel this tug of war. It could be internal, where you have to, you feel yourself wanting to imagine what maybe the next 6 months is going to be. We're at the halfway point of the year now. So what is the next 6 months going to be for you? And starting to imagine what that is, but we can't, because I'm telling you, you could not imagine what's coming. You look at most astrologers. Pam Gregory is one of my favorite Western astrologers. You look at the messages that a lot of major, highly recognized astrologers are talking about the rest of this year. And it's what I saw from the very beginning of this year. That by the time Pluto retrogrades back into Capricorn for just the fall, before pivoting back into Aquarius and moving us into fully the age of Aquarius, which is so much more about youth. And I have videos about all of that I posted at the beginning of the year, but it's like the questions remain about what really is going to happen collectively and individually for the last half of this year. We can dream, and we certainly should imagine, but it's also take the medicine of July with the sheep. Enjoy your vacations. But this really is a call to retreat. That instead of going on the big, expensive family vacation with all the gear and all the food and everything packed in the car, right? It is a commotion. I remember those days. I remember coming back from those vacations exhausted, thinking I need a vacation from this. And that really is what this is. This is exactly that. I'm just realizing it. It's the difference between the packed car with the family going to the beach with all the things and you going on a solo retreat to someplace like my house, right? Where you get to come into the peace of the now moment and take a break. Inhale and exhale and repeat. That really sums up July. So here we go. Here we go. We're going to go soaring around our happy Bagua. If you're interested in a virtual Feng Shui with me, please reach out. I'd love to do that with you. Activate. We're at the center. We always like to start in the center because the center of the home is the only area, it's not a direction, but it's the only area that radiates through the whole rest of the house. So that is a very important direction. The 3-star is a wood star, and it is already weakened in period 9 that we are now in. And this is a wood star that is not compatible with the earthy center. So it's a very weak star. Fortunately, the 9-star comes in July. This is wonderful because the 9-star brings in the fire that further weakens and completely, like the 3-star, if you ask me, is just gone. So what happens is we get the benefit of the 9-star, our new wealth star, shining so brightly in July. And this feels awesome. So make sure that in the center of your home, you have red and purple displayed. If you're able to, put a happy Hodi sitting on 7 Chinese red envelopes to protect your relationships and your wealth. We're going to come around now to the 8-star. This is a major wah-wah because the 8-star has been so beleaguered this year. The 8-star was our wealth star. It has stepped down, so the 9-star has taken the stage as our wealth star for the next 20 years of period 9. And so the 8-star kind of being demoted and then positioned in the watery north, it feels very beleaguered. And the 5-star, where anything and everything can go wrong, shows up for July. And I would take great caution with the north direction of your home. Great caution. I would say pull back. We were using earth, and now I'm saying pull back. Get all the earth that you might have put out, take it back. This is how we flow with the Tao. We don't just place things and leave them for the year. Heck, I know someone who's, after her parents died, her house, her childhood home, hadn't changed in over 60 years. Same wallpaper, same family photos on the wall. Such stuck, stagnant chi. The chi of our homes is meant to flow with the energies, not only of these flying stars, but of the innate feng shui of the home. I can feel it when a house is stuck. It's just heavy and dark. All right, so the 5-star here, what we want to do, remove the earth, bring in metal. And metal actually is a good mitigator between the water and the earth. And all the metal that you can put out, that can be a round metal bowl, is a perfect cure to absorb any toxic negative energy for the month of July, and keeping this area super quiet and calm, okay? So we're going to come around to the northeast, and I want to send you over to my website, kharmakhameleon.com. The full blog is there with all the cures, colors, and things that you can apply to your home. And if you get lost, confused, happy to do a feng shui consult with you. And did you know it comes with 2 free Bazi Astrology charts so that I can read the owners of the home in relation to the house feng shui, to see how your Bazi Astrology marries with your home feng shui. So the Northeast for 2024 and period 9. So the 6-star is in the Northeast. This month we have this 3-star. And again, remember, from the center. The 3-star, I think it's completely lost here. You've got the 6-star, which is metal. The Northeast, which is earth. I think it's going to be a complete neutral situation. So I am saying let's just enjoy the 6-star and continue to focus on the benefits of that. Placing 6 gold ingots in a round yellow or gold metal plate. You can also, if this is an entrance, hang 6 Chinese coins on a black string. We're going to come around now to the east. This one is really not good because the east, we have the 1-star, which is our new future wealth star. This is where I have my vision board, family photos are out. We want to put all those things away now. For July, put away your family photos in the east and put away your vision board because the 7-star has come in. And the 7-star here is at war with the east. This is metal against wood. And even with the 1-star as a mitigating force, this still holds potential for violent arguments, massive loss too, dreams and things that maybe you were working on or planning on being slashed in some way. So then we come around to the southeast. Now I'm saying activate, but keep it quiet. Don't want to wake up the dragon because the southeast is the home of the dragon. Okay, and it's where we have the Grand Duke, our king, the dragon sitting here. So we don't want to face east. We don't want to drive in towards the east. And we want to make sure there's no construction or loud noises here. We can activate it with our human presence. We can activate it with sunlight. These are non-violent ways of using action to enjoy the direction and the more positive sides of the energy without making a commotion, okay? So for the 2-star, wait, where are we? Sorry. Oh, the 8-star is in here. So with this, with the 8 star, you've got 2 earth stars showing up in the southeast, which is wood, and that doesn't jive. And the mitigating element of fire would be too much for the 2 star. So what I'm saying here is to go against convention and bring in earth colors of yellow, brown, tan, things like that for July. Yeah. Okay. So depressing the South. Oh my gracious. It's better than it was. The South was insane. You want to hear this? First day of my goddess retreat last week, I'm going up to my back door, which is the South. You guys know this, I think. And this is me, because I am a horse person. I'm very aware that the South is afflicting. And I have had one very interesting year, let's just say, and a dryer that I have been trying to get fixed for 2 months. It is not beyond me that this is all part of the astrology of this year, or the Feng Shui of this year, not the astrology. So I'm coming up to the door. The South is fire, ruled by the snake and the horse. And what is along the bottom of my door but a giant rat snake? They're black snakes with a kind of a grayish white underbelly, and it's shoving its head into the door. So it's now got its head stuck between the door and the door frame. I couldn't believe it. And the thing is literally forcing his way into the house. Thankfully, my daughter, who is a nature fanatic, came running to my rescue as we opened the door very carefully, and with an uninjured snake, she literally picked this thing up and lassoed it out into the field. But what imagery, what medicine that came flying through. The 5 star was in the South all through June, and I've got a gong on the outside that I ring when I come in to dispel the negative energy. And I have a bell on the doorknob so that every time the door closes, it's going to ring the bell, dispelling negative energy. So important. And it gave me a measure of comfort. Woo! I'll be so glad when this is gone. So the 4 star comes in. Now, the 4 star is at harmony with the South, but it still doesn't bode well with the 7 star being there. Plus, it's also one of our 3 afflictions. It's where the 3 killings is for 2024. So I would say focus still on the element of metal with blue for the month of July. We're going to now come around to the Southwest, which is back. Hot diggity, so happy for this. This is the 9 star is in the Southwest. Now we had the 7 star for June, which was not a happy thing. And the caution really was towards lawsuits or legal problems or money issues and things like that. This is shifting. The 6 star is now with the 9 star. The 6 star is metal. The Southwest is earth, and the 9 star is fire. This is a flow of energy, and that's exactly what it feels like. It feels very supportive for growth, for abundance, and money luck. I would actually say that the Southwest is probably your best direction for having an office, for having a front door, and for having your desk facing you towards the Southwest. So I did say that for this month, if you want to put 6 gold ingots on your desk, if this is your place of your desk, like it is for me, or, if it's a major room in your house. Okay. Now we're going to come around to the West. This is the worst direction for this month, I would say. The West especially if this is a bedroom or a front door. Please be using extra caution if you do not have an alternative bedroom or entrance. I don't know, sometimes I think I would crawl through a window to avoid using this as a front door. You have the 5-star all year, showing potential for everything and anything to go wrong. It's like the loose pin of a grenade. It's how I often think of the 5-star. And the 2-star comes in, and the 2-star is in transition. These 2 earth stars are in the west, and it is a real caution, my friends. Probably one of the best that I can think of cure is to have a wind chime, 6-rod metal wind chime outside. Then we're going to come around to our last direction, which is the northwest, where the 4-star is. Now, this is the third of our 3 afflictions because the northwest is opposite to the southeast. This is the opposing direction, and this is where the Shui Po is with the dog. And that is going to be October. October is ruled by the month of the dog. This is when we are going to see conflict around our world explode. Major shakeups and shifts in our world. And the United States election happens on the last day of the month of the dog. The cherry on top, if there is an election. There are many astrologers wondering if there is even going to be one. Deep breaths around all this. So the northwest has the 1-star coming in, and that is great because the 1-star is water. So the northwest, being metal, is the mitigating element for the 4-star, which is wood. And so for this month, I'm actually saying activate this area. Again, quietly, respectfully, use light and human interactivity here, but do so quietly. And I think this could be a really nice area for you. So recap, best directions: northwest, southwest, northeast, southeast, center. Okay. Lots more than I think last month. I think there's more that we can work with. Areas of caution are 3 afflicted directions. And again, I mention the northwest because of that. Okay, so there is that both there. And the same goes for the southeast because of the Grand Duke. The south with 3 killings, and for sure the west. Now, on the world stage for the month of July, where in the world does the sheep sit? Well, the sheep sits on the easternmost part of Brazil and into the Atlantic Ocean. And if you ask me, I think we're going to see the hurricane season really rev up in July. So stay tuned for those kinds of things in the news, weather events for sure. And I would not be surprised with the sheep that we don't see continued dry, hot heat. It has not rained here where I am in weeks. Like literally when you walk on the grass, it's crunchy, makes crunching sounds. It's really weird after having so much rain this winter where you're walking and it's just mud, just a mud pit out here. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And again, leave comments or questions. Happy to hear what you have to say. And until next time, friends, be well.